All right, we're back. Check the mic. Talking Justin Fields. He is signing with the New York Jets. Man, this was rumored, Sam, that Fields might sign with the Jets. And after years of the Jets seeing their former quarterbacks, their former high draft picks, Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, going elsewhere, having success, Jets are trying to turn the tables here with Justin Fields coming in, former first round pick, and seeing if they can get the most out of him.
Quarterback dominoes, they're dropping. We got the Darnold domino went. That's the biggest one, I think. But now we're like, uh-oh. For any team that still needs a veteran quarterback, where do you go? And you've got Justin Fields, you've got Aaron Rodgers. Like the options are drying up pretty quickly. So yeah, the Jets grab Justin Fields. We've talked about Fields a lot. I still think that Fields has a theoretical leap in play out there. Now, I don't know if it'll ever happen. I might be chasing that remember the way Jay Cutler, right? Every year you're like, this is the year Jay Cutler puts it together, or you with Jameis Winston. This is the year Jameis Winston's going to be able to see defenders and not throw the ball right to them. I feel like there's a theoretical jump in Justin Fields because he's got an arm. He's accurate. His problem was not like an inability to read defenses. I think he can read a defense, but like an inability to trust what he was seeing. Like he wouldn't just see it, throw, like instant read, react, put the ball in the air. And so he was allowing like wide open receivers to be completely untargeted by the ball. His athleticism is spectacular. Like you can build a functional offense with Justin Fields just out there making plays. But I do think if he can end up in the right place, a place like Kevin O'Connell, right? Able to rewire quarterbacks, but somewhere that just gives him the confidence to have 1 year where he just says, to hell with it. I'm going to trust what I'm seeing and put the ball in the air. I think that there is a much better player there than we've seen so far. And let's remember, for whatever you think of Justin Fields, he has gotten better every year of his career. Like they've been small steps, and we've still got a way to go. But he's gotten better every single year. And even at that level, there is viability there, right? And I think that's important for a team like the Jets that are trying to find that viability after Aaron Rodgers.
It's about 2 years, 2 years, about 20 million per year, right? For Justin Fields here, the early reports. Is that essentially a bridge quarterback contract today? I mean, that's really what it is for Fields. Let's be serious
100%.
about that, because we're going to discuss, right? There's some upside there, and it's theoretical, but this isn't a commitment like Sam Darnold's getting. It's a bridge quarterback, right? So the Jets are still picking at 7, and with the Raiders off the board, maybe not needing a QB, we'll see if the Giants end up signing Aaron Rodgers, and they might not need a QB. I think the Jets are still in the QB market in the draft, and whether it's Shedeur Sanders falling theoretically to 7, or if it's the second wave of QBs, they're trying to find their quarterback of the future. And with that in mind, much like the Steelers taking the shot last year to see what they had, why not? If you're the Jets, see what you could get out of Justin Fields, and all your points are strong. I think he has gotten a little better every year. I thought he played differently last year, played within the system a little bit more than he did with Chicago, and see if this could be the next former first rounder that can have success.
Yeah, I mean, remember the classic contract I always think of one that sort of was big enough that you think, oh, look, they've got a starter. And then immediately you're like, actually, they just drafted the guy anyway. And this money isn't that bad. It's sort of bridge quarterback / backup money. Mike Glennon signed a 3-year, 15 million or 45 million, 15 million a year deal with the Chicago Bears back in, what was that, 2017? And then the Bears immediately turned around and drafted Mitchell Trubisky. And Mike Glennon's tenure as starting quarterback of the Bears lasted effectively weeks. And that kind of is what we're talking about here. Like 15 million a year in 2017 is 20 million a year adjusted for, NFL salary cap inflation right now. So Fields has basically signed the Mike Glennon deal, albeit with one fewer year on the table. So I think you're right. If they need him to start, if they end up in a situation like the Raiders have been the last couple of years where nobody they like is available and they just didn't get their guy in the draft, you can start Justin Fields next year and you can be okay with that. But it certainly doesn't stop you. Like if you love Shedeur Sanders and you're willing to be patient and let him drop and Shedeur's there when you pick, it certainly doesn't stop you doing that and installing him as the starter, sooner rather than later.
I think the challenge here for Fields, maybe having that big jump that we keep talking about, might be in there potential wise. The challenge with that compared to what Baker Mayfield or Geno Smith did or Sam Darnold did, right? The guys that we've seen come out of this. Geno Smith had a nice 1-2 punch of DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett to throw to. Baker Mayfield had his nice 1-2 punch of Mike Evans and Chris Godwin to throw to. Sam Darnold has Justin Jefferson, or had Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson. I keep saying this because I think it matters, that situation. All those guys kind of stepped into not perfect situations, but, decent situations for them to succeed. Fields is going to a rebuilding Jets team that's pretty much Garrett Wilson right now to throw to. They still need a right tackle. I think they have the makings of a decent offensive line. I know it didn't work well last year, but I thought they made a bunch of the right moves and they could be close on the O-line. So that's going to be the challenge, I think, for Fields with the Jets. I like the move. It's a high-end bridge quarterback type of money. Darnold made $10 million for the 1 year last year. That's real bridge quarterback money. But with inflation, it's in that range. But it's going to be a challenge for Fields to elevate this roster right now, unless there are some serious moves to be made. And I don't know if the Jets really have that in them right now.
And let's remember, I mean, Garrett Wilson's already been making noises about not being happy, wanting out of there, wanting a trade, whatever. Justin Fields, maybe I'm wrong, because he's the kind of quarterback that I think teammates place a higher sort of value on necessarily than people like us sitting our fat asses in a couch just looking at him going, that guy's not that great. Like, Justin Fields is a spectacular athlete with a spectacular arm, who's capable of doing amazing things athletically on an NFL football field. And that, you shouldn't sort of overlook, I think, how much weight that carries in an NFL locker room. Like, just random NFL players looking at him going, that dude does special things, I think carry some weight relative to like the overall, over the course of 1,000 snaps, when we evaluate him, what does he get like producing in an EPA per play, type of level. So it could go either way is what I'm saying. But I don't know if a season of having Justin Fields throwing the football to Garrett Wilson is going to result in the happiest Garrett Wilson we've ever seen. So maybe this is the kind of thing that starts nicely.
Buddies at Ohio State and everything, though. Teammates
at
Ohio State.
And maybe Garrett Wilson's the missing key to unlock the Ohio State passer of Justin Fields. So there's a whole variety of ways that this could go. But I sort of feel like that combination will be the thing that starts off. Everybody's great, buddies again, reunited, training camp videos, hype, social media montages. And then like by week 8, Garrett Wilson's just like, would somebody throw me the damn ball in the vague general direction of where I am, please?
Chat suggests that Garrett Wilson only got drafted because of Justin Fields. Justin Fields made Garrett Wilson.
Maybe Garrett Wilson made Justin Fields.
I like this move. I mean, I had a mock interview, got denied a real interview with the Jets, but in a if I was in the seat and you're sitting there looking at the market, and the top QB on the market was Sam Darnold, so he's not coming back, so he's already not going to be a Jet. Arguably the second best quarterback on the market is Aaron Rodgers, the guy that you're opting out of, and I think rightfully so.
Right.
So what is your alternative if you're the Jets? You get a guy with some upside, get him at a bridge deal, and you can keep options open in the draft. I like this move for the Jets quite a bit, for a team that's rebuilding, see what they have in Justin Fields. And again, I keep going back to college, where I hate when this happens, but when a player comes into the NFL and plays completely different than what they looked like in college. I thought in college his accuracy would play. It was a different type of system. He had more time to throw, held on to the ball quite a bit, but when he threw it, it was accurate. And in the NFL, that waned, but his athleticism shined, right? I mean, his athleticism was incredible, and I think there's an offense that you could build around his legs with hopes of getting that accuracy out of him. And I think the Steelers got bits of that, where he was trusting the system, trusting that first read more consistently last year than he previously had, took better care of the ball outside of a game. So, yeah, I mean, given the options, I think the Jets make a good move here.
The options is really important. I mean, it's a good thing to bring up. Like, look, unless Justin Fields has this big leap forward in ability as a passer in particular, it's not a great move, right? Like, he's unlikely to provide the kind of Sam Darnold jump that the Vikings had last year. Now, Darnold was unlikely to provide that as well. So who knows, right? When you're out here saying this is a terrible move, there's no way this is good. Like, nobody thought Darnold was about to take the Minnesota Vikings to within a game of the number 1 seed in the league. As soon as JJ McCarthy went down, it was just like, yeah, Darnold can start for 3 games until you need McCarthy out there. Like, that'll do. So, you can't say definitively, but like, unless there's a big jump forward, this is not a spectacular move, but it's to stop you going into a situation where, the Raiders have been those last couple of years where you hope you can get the guy in the draft, you don't get him. And now, like, we've got to start Tim Boyle. Like, what, you need a better plan than that. And if you look at the alternatives, as you said, you already dismiss Aaron Rodgers. Darnold is already gone and wouldn't have been an option anyway. Zach Wilson is one of these reclamation project names, but he's a reclamation from you. So you're not bringing him back either. Then you're into like the, Jacoby Brissett's, the Trey Lance reclamation project, Marcus Mariota. Like, these are significantly worse options than Justin Fields right now. So, and you're not paying him like you expect him to take that giant step forward. $20 million a year is about where he should be based off what we've seen from him. So I think it's a good move, albeit not one that like definitively answers, the Jets are set at quarterback. It's all good.
Yeah, I think that's well described. When we're saying it's a good move, it's relative to the options that you have here. And we should talk about that more in the draft too. Like, did the Bengals make a great move when they drafted Joe Burrow, or did they make the expected move? And that completely changed the franchise. It's more luck than, figuring things out. So yeah, it's relative to what your options are. I think the Jets did well here, bringing in Justin Fields. So as always, we're going to stick with all of the breaking news, keep up with all of it here. Go back and watch our Patriots video. We missed Milton Williams. We kind of jumped the gun on New England. That was pre-Milton Williams. They keep adding. We discussed Sam Darnold in another video, discussed the Bears offensive line. So be sure to check it all out. Check the mic. We're going to be live whenever the big news breaks. Hit subscribe.